Hello and welcome to the start of another series. This series is going to follow me as I build the model railway for Rosie, which is based on the Osborne Farm series with Poppy and Sam and Mrs. Boot and Ted and a lot of other animals on the farm and an old steam train. So what I've done is I've designed this entirely to be based on those stories, including finding and sourcing the correct steam engine that matches the one that the artist based his pictures on. And I'm hoping to get this done very, very soon. I've missed my first target, unfortunately, but model railways are like that. They are quite difficult. So this is going to be a multi-part series. This is only part one, and this deals with the planning process. The next video will be about laying the track, and then the follow-up video will be about doing the groundwork and then the detailing and what have you. So there's quite a lot of content to come, and I really hope that you'll enjoy it. So leave me a comment below if you like it. Give me suggestions. I always love to hear them. I always comment and reply to every comment I receive, so please don't be shy. Do make yourself known. And I do hope that you enjoy this video, and I'll see you again at the end. Long-term viewers of this channel will know that for Rosie's first birthday, I made her a hobbit hole, which she absolutely loves. And I've been thinking since, and I wasn't actually going to do something necessarily for her second birthday, but this is going to work so nicely that I think I am going to do it, about what to do. And I am going to make a start and make a little layout for her based on one of the books that she really loves reading. The Poppy and Sam series, Farmyard Tales maybe. And in that book there is a couple of kids who live on a farm with their mum and Ted and their dad every now and then. And running near the farm is an old steam train that they have great joy going on, and Rosie has great joy reading about. They've got a naughty sheep, and they've got some cows, and they've got some pigs, and it's a really nice little story, and I think I can make a really nice layout based on that story. So I have ordered the engine, the locomotive, which is probably what the artist based the story pictures on, so that's coming. And the units which I purchased for the main layout outside room 13, I've just put them together today, and I've offered them up into the area because I think the doors you see here is where the games room is. Back here is where the main layout's going to be, and so this is where Rosie's little layout's going to be. And you can see that they're a really nice height, and they're going to be really good to have the layout on top of. So I'm going to order a few more because I don't have enough. I did find that I did order ones with a door on the front, and unfortunately the shop sent me the wrong ones, so I'm waiting for maybe some shop credit there or whatever. But I'm going to place an order now for a bunch more because they're just perfect. They're really good solid units, and I'm going to order the ones with the doors so that we can have storage in the front. I can maybe put some extra shelves in, and you can have locomotives and other bits and pieces stored out of the way for when it's not in use. So that's where it's going to sit. There will be quite a lot of content on this as I get ready, because her birthday is only in 6-7 weeks time now, so I've got to get this, I've got to get my skates on. So yeah, that is going to look absolutely brilliant when it's there. I'm very, very pleased indeed. I have just gathered together some chipboard, as you can see, which is all I have in, and I'm going to start laying out roughly the track plan that I think I want for the railway for Rosie. I'll run the camera for a bit maybe so you can see how I go about doing that. I've got my boxes of track just to the side. I know roughly what elements that I want to have on the board, so what I'll be doing is I will put the track down, move it around right on this hardboard, on the chipboard with a black pen, and then when I'm happy I'll then go and get that cut and I can get it mounted and braced and ready to start actually doing scenicking. Very, very, very excited by this. Can't wait to see it happening, and can't wait to see Rosie's face when the train first goes round it, which hopefully won't be all that long off, but we shall see. This is going to get done. been a few days and I've just been letting this settle. I'm relatively happy with the layout having let it settle. I think it's going to look really nice. I'm not sure about the track though. It's very rubbish, very rubbish. And I think I'm going to just use my good track. The reason I was thinking about using this is I don't have very much of it, and so I thought I could make use of it on this isolated little layout, but trying to find track which isn't broken is proving very hard. So yeah, I'll just use my good track. So the plan now, I'm going to come along with my marker and I'm going to roughly mark out the edge of where the track is, just for interest's sake, though I may redo it slightly. However, the actual shape that I've got, which I marked out here, is right. So I'm going to go now and put this down, take this downstairs to my workshop and cut this with a jigsaw, and then bring it back up and set it up with the edges cut off, make sure that I'm happy, see if I want to cut any more, and then when I'm happy with that, then I will put some battens on the bottom to support it and then set it in place, and we can actually start doing some scenicking. So just for now, I've got a little bit of time, not very much time, so I'm going to come along and trim off these curves, and yeah, I will bring you back for the next step when I get to it. That's been cut and it is absolutely perfect. So I can reach any part of the track without having to stretch too badly from any point, which is the main thing that you want with one of these kind of peninsula type things. And also there's plenty of space for me to do a little bit of terrain on the outside. The only bit that's a little bit concerning is how close to the edge it gets here. So I might have to put a fence or something here, or maybe even some perspex up in case anything falls off. But apart from that, it's pretty cool, pretty happy with that. Next up I'm going to do is stay on it for a little bit longer, maybe draw some more on the board where things might go, and I do need to start making some of the scenery. So I have the farm building and the little outhouse or the barn that they have, and also a couple of bits and pieces like that, and so I'm going to get those started, and then I can work out where they're going to sit. I think for Rosie's birthday, I'm not going to worry about the station. I'm going to worry about the farm, going to get the farm in and work out where the station will sit and the footprint, but not try to finish and build it, and I can do that afterwards, so that there will be a running track and also just the farm bit started. I don't want to feel pressured really, but I do want something working. So yeah, so we'll block it out, get the track down, and that will be a really good thing to aim for her birthday in the middle of February. So there we are. I just thought I'd do a quick wrap up of the progress today. Probably won't get to spend any more time on it today, but yeah, this has to move forwards now. I don't want it to be late, and I don't want it to be done badly because I feel rushed. So I've been at this with a marker. You can see here the printouts I've taken of photographs of the books, which I'm using for my planning, and I will be scratch building those buildings for an apple tree farm. And I'm really happy with how this is looking now. I looked at this for quite a long time when I first laid out the track and thought, well, it just looks rubbish. There's not enough space. It's not going to be as interesting a tale as I wanted it to be. But as I've put down these marks, I've become quite happy, and I thought I'd just quickly show you what I'm going to do. This will be in two sections. We'll look at this area, and then I'll move the camera to point at the other one because you can't really see it all from here. So let me talk you through this. Move these bits of paper. There you go, that's better. So coming across here, we've got the road. And the road comes all the way along and crosses the tracks in two places. Now, whether one of those is a bridge or they're both level crossings, I'm not sure, I haven't decided that yet, but that's how that road goes. The road then does its kind of fork and it disappears up towards the town, which you'll see shortly. This is where Apple Tree Farm is, and in the corner there is the duck pond. And this was a present for Christmas from Angela, which is absolutely wonderful. So that'll be able to go onto this. Beautiful, perfect, thank you very much, love. This field here will have the cows in it. This field here will be the hay field, which will have a small scarecrow, and here we'll have the sheep, which has his name, Woolly the sheep. And then there will be just like grass and fields and what have you here. Still working out how I'm going to actually proceed. My current thinking is that I will put some cork down underneath where the track is, and then build up around that with terrain and with my with XPS and what have you, but I'm not totally sure. So anyway, that's this section. What I'll do now is move the camera and we'll have a look at the other half of the board. Unfortunately, all the writing's upside down from this aspect because I drew it from over there, but never mind. So down here we have the station, which is a strong element in the books, and a car park on the other side of the tracks, so I'll probably have a bridge going over, which isn't in the books, but whatever. Then we have the road that we saw curving around from the fork. That comes up here. There's going to be a little triangle here with potentially a war memorial or a cross or something there. A church here, over here, like a shop, a pub. This is the town square with some car parking, another shop, another car park, and the school at the back. And here is the market and the show field. And I will decide whether that's going to be a market or a show going on when I come to it. Now, I think what I'm going to be doing is working on the apple tree farm half first. So like I say, I will stick all the track down, all the track will be there, and it will be able to run a full train round, but I'm going to scenic inwards, so I'm not going to try and finish it all for her birthday, because that'd be crazy, and I really want to do this well. So I think I'm going to start at the other end, but at least now I've got a really good idea, and it has a lot of interest, and I think they will look really nice. So I'm very, very pleased to have done that, and now I can move on with the next steps. Happy that I'm actually going to create a layout that's going to be interesting to use. It will only have the one loop. I might add in points at the other end, which will potentially lead to a bridge joining over to my other model railway for when that comes. So I might put that in just to give it expansion possibilities so that the two can join together, but I'm not totally sure. I might not. I'll see how I feel about that. For now, I'm going to work out what my next steps are in terms of whether I put another layer on or whether I stick the cork directly to this baseboard, which I think is what I'm going to do. The next thing to do here is just to make sure that the loop is actually going to work. I still haven't fully decided on the turnout, which I'm going to have a think about now. But initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all the track that I've got laid out and then attempt to run the Santa's Express train around, which you can see sat just over here waiting to be railed and attempting to run. Now I do know that it at least partially works because I was able to move the train, just the locomotive went just the length of the power track. So we'll find out whether I need to get new rail joiners and what I'm missing, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to spend a bit of time now doing that and getting this ready and try and run a train round, and if I can get it running then I'll show you, and if I can't then I'll work out what I need and I'll let you know. So it worked. Let's go and see if it does it again with the camera running. So there we are, that took about 10 minutes of elbow grease. Some of the track was absolutely pigging like black. There's a little bit of a near derailment just over on this corner here, just on this curve to the left. But of course this track isn't nailed down or even secured, so yeah, all I really wanted to do was make sure that the curve was going to look good, and I think it does look good. All of this is second-hand rail, so I've bought it over years. I haven't bought any for years. I bought it many years ago and boxed it all up, and have never cleaned it or touched it. And it does show that you can buy cheap, and this was cheap second-hand rail, and get a good enough result. It did take a bit of elbow grease, but it's pretty good. I'm very, very happy, very pleased indeed. I did a little squeal in real life. I've also decided not to do the turnout. So if my cable is going to be long enough, which it is, so my plan was, my thinking was, the turnout would go here. So the onwards would be the left of this left-hand point, and then the right hand will lead over here, and eventually will go over towards my other layout, which is going to be over here. However, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to have a think about it. It will require then obviously the track to be pulled up and replaced, and maybe a little bit of damage to the terrain, but I think that's something I'm willing to risk. I will do this just as it is. without even considering the fact that there might be a turnout there. Maybe I might leave a gap in the terrain. But yeah, I'm going to leave it for now and get just the turnout. We'll just get this working without the turnout, and then I can always replace this one bit of curve here with the turnout when I get to it, and cut down some track and what have you. But yeah, anyway, that's my decision on that. So yeah, so the next thing to do is to get the cork and work out exactly if I've got enough cork and then glue the cork down where the track is now. Because I'm going to go directly onto this board. I'm not going to put it in, I'm going to just put cork down. I'm going to have it as a completely flat layout because I don't want to have any complexity of grade. Another thing that I need to do is join these two boards together. So put a joining strip here and one over there as well. I've decided against putting anything that is actually going to secure it to these units underneath for two reasons. One, I don't need to, because over there you can see that's how I'm going to be powering it. It's only DC until I want to be able to move it. So if I do that and I'm careful enough, I should be able to make it so that it can be split into two parts. So that's my thinking. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I can't tell you how happy I am that that little train just went round that loop. So there you are, that's the first little section of this series. I will be putting more videos out, as I say. As I stand here, I'm actually quite a long way further along than where I've left this video, but that just means there's a lot backed up which I can produce and put out should I have a bad week and not do as much hobbying as I normally do. So thanks for watching. If you got this far, do pop a comment below, as I've said. I do love to hear from you and I do reply to all my comments. So yeah, don't be shy, do make yourself known below. And I will say, as I always do, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.